Alright, we're recording. Okay. Alright, welcome everyone to the first JJK What If. Which also, all the other videos that were, that didn't get corrupted on the time of, which was mostly just it was only some of the Loud 10 videos that didn't get corrupted. While there were some that I just, kind of forgot to post. Well, there were new ones that I made, and there was also some that I just kind of forgot to post, like a 1-2-parter, and there's some that got deleted, but what if Yuji Itadori was a part of the Gojo clan? We start this story off the same as we started off in canon. Yuji with his friends in the occult club, just doing what they were doing, trying to summon, until things go to canon from here, even to the, excuse me, I just got done eating dinner, but even to the coach challenging, Yuji. So, yeah, things go pretty much in canon here, except there's one really major difference. As we see Yuji on his way to the hospital, he reminds himself that his mother always told him to his mother made sure his grandfather knew that make sure he always had eye contacts in. Number one. Number two, even with his pinkish, it's, how in a color filter you have white? Just imagine that, but you know how you can go down into a different blend of colors? So, basically that's what Yuji's hair looks. Go down, 2 from the white spectrum into the pink side. Basically, Yuji's hair is the lightest white pink. So, yeah, Yuji always knew to make sure he wore eye contacts, which he never knew why. As his grandpa just made sure he did. So, yeah, Yuji goes to the hospital, and unfortunately, his grandfather still passed away. With Yuji telling him that, his parents are both dead, so there's not there's much to ask them anyway. But as he thinks it'll be better just not to go up on it. Excuse me. So yeah, after that, things go to canon again from here. With Megami, and then Yuji meets Megami, yada yada yada. He jumps through the window, saves his friends from getting eaten and animated. It's anime, so still, but And thus things still end the same, where Yuji still has to choke down on the finger, and Sukuna still awakens as he basically shoots a part of his body. As we see, Sukuna doesn't really fall out. He's still standing there. As he's screaming about, this is such a way he's never seen the world before. As even with his... Also, let's just say that Yuji eye contacts were, just vaporized, thanks to the curse energy, but it didn't do anything, because Sukuna can regenerate. But, yeah, after Sukuna one-taps the curse, Yuji takes back over, and Megami gets to see the fact that Yuji has bright blue eyes that look like Gojo Sensei. Which, after Yuji takes over, he's just amazed at this world like he's never seen it before. With Megami getting ready to exercise, and this is when Gojo pops up. And, seeing the blue eyes, he almost immediately realizes that this kid has the 6 eyes. As well, this kid has a 6 eyes ability. As he can tell from the glowing blue, that's Yuji's eye color. And thus, he knocks Yuji... after asking Yuji to take over Sukuna's body, let Sukuna take over, which... Sukuna ends up doing something, since we know that Sukuna can use his host's techniques. So, something that Gojo wasn't really prepared for was Sukuna to shoot a red. Reversal red. As he realized, so it seems like the kid has to have Limitless too. Gojo thinks to himself over the fact that he can, shoot a red. And thus Yuji takes back over, Gojo knocks him out, yada yada. Yuji wakes up, with him saying that they'll execute Yuji when they hit all 20 fingers, with Yuji agreeing. Wait, this is when Gojo does ask Yuji, does he know? No. Reason why? Wait, Yuji said he doesn't really know. All he knows is that his grandpa always told him that his mom would dye her white hair black. And thus, Gojo asked for her name, which is Cory. Which, Gojo actually remembers the woman somewhat. Cory, as he remembers during his childhood, as he heard of a woman that fled from the Gojo clan. Her name was Cory. They never found her. Which Gojo explained this to Yuji, that with him saying that this means that we're related. Gojo says, well, more like clan connection than blood connection, but still, you know. And thus, we see things realistically transpire normally into canon. Yuji chokes down one of Sukuna's fingers, nasty. But yeah, and thus, Yuji's taken to the principal. He goes, Jesus. Ugh. Note to self, don't eat dinner before getting ready to record a video. Not a good idea. And so, Yuji, being Yuji, well, it still goes in the canon similar. As Yuji has so much more as Gojo also explained what his techniques were, the 6 eyes and limitless. And thus, this Yuji's training more revolves around him getting used to having use reversal red, as Sukuna was able to unlock this for him. Which I know technically it's a passed down technique, but just for funsies, let's just say that Cory taught Yuji just in case. Like, she's so... Well, more like, we all know. More like Yuji's Gramps just made sure that he had it in the back of his head. Just in case. You can say for a reason, but, you know. And thus Yuji is taken to his room, where he meets up with Megumi, and the two go off. Which, during this time, we see Yuji practicing his curse techniques, which Yuji is given his same kit in canon, except Gojo also gives him a pair of blue tinted glasses, as he says that 6 eyes can, well, that can kind of be a drain on your, can be a strain, even with Yuji's realistic superhuman level, it can still be a strain, so you have to wear something. But because of the fact that Yuji, again, has insane durability, that he only really needs to wear the glasses to ward off any side effects. So yeah, with that, we see just Yuji and Megumi going around training until they have to go to Tokyo to get their third member, Nobara. Nobara? God, I cannot say that woman's name right. But, yeah. So they meet her after seeing her scream at a dude, you know. And Nobara actually makes more of a comment than canon original. As well, for Megami it's still the same, but for Yuji, the blueness of his eyes brings out his face, she thinks. Those blue eyes of his bring out his face, kind of, but besides that, he's like this man in terms of, I don't know, attractiveness. So yeah. Wow. That, we didn't see that the two go off and like do what they do in canon, which they split up with Yuji not really still find the kid, as Yuji can still see, thanks to his 6 eyes, can see where curse is. So when the curse has a hold of the kid, next thing it knows, it has a hand through its chest. Actually, let's go with chest, as Yuji almost immediately grabs it by its chest, its skin, for pulling it through the wall and throwing it back into the room. Which, after he grabbed the kid, Nobara was able to kill the damn thing. And thus, there we go. And so, while that happens, as Gojo is still wondering about everything that he can teach Yuji realistically. As well, he knows a lot of things, but still, you know, but like besides that, So yeah, while this is happening, we see normal things transpire. Wow, instead of trying to kill Yuji in this hole, when they send him to take care of Finger Bear, they want to see if a member of the Gojo clan was born with the Six Eyes ability. There's a high possibility he has Limitless too, especially since he was able to use Reversal Red, even if it hadn't showed up yet. So from what they can guess, it might just manifest. So, what better way to make a power manifest than sending him to go fight a special grade? Yay! And so yeah, the fingerprinting death room is born. So yada yada, they still go in to find the dismantled corpses of the dead. But Yuji saying that they need to bring them out of there. As he can look up and says, "You grab them and get out of here. I'll handle the special." Which basically the finger bearer shows up, so Yuji tells them to grab their bodies and run, so they can be protected. As Yuji handles this. Shit. Ugh. As Yuji handles the special grade. Sorry about that, but so yeah. And thus we see a fight commence. And during one of Yuji's hits, because of his Six Eyes ability, and well, again, the man chosen by the Black Sparks, you'd think he'd be able to use blue. And this is the first execute of Yuji using Black Flash in this timeline. The Black Flash. And sending a finger bearer flying back. And thus, it also hits with the extra curse energy. Since, Yuji is the man, has been called the man chosen by the Black Sparks. You'd think he'd be able to use Black Flash willingly. But, no, Gege doesn't want to see him suffer, no. But yeah, so I'm gonna treat Yuji like the main character, how he's supposed to be. Well, I'm not gonna fuck him over nearly as much as Gege. Especially in these waters, but unless I really want to, but who knows. And so yeah, Yuji follows back up with another Black Flash to its face, sending it flying back. And thus Finger Bearer starts to send out an energy beam at Yuji. Now if you hold up his hands to block, this is when it kind of just bounces, as it kind of just folds itself on and stops, as it splits apart in front of Yuji. What? As Yuji's eyes are glowing even more bluely than now possible. And with this, Yuji Itadori has unlocked his Limitless technique as well. And with that, Yuji also proceeds to fire a almost said hollow red. A reversal red at the finger bearer, sending it flying back. But something that Yuji does realize is that this Limitless, it's taking a toll on him, like a lot. As he's thinking about this, he thinks that he'll have to ask Gojo Sensei about this later. And thus, it commences a fight. Which, you just kind of spams with reversal reds. I mean, he has a lot more curse energy in this one, and along with it, Black Flashes. Eventually, he's able to kill the curse, and also ends up swallowing the finger. But thanks to this fight, and thanks to the Limitless, it takes a toll on Yuji, which leads to him passing out. And, well, we all know who has a fine awakening after. As Sukuna wakes up and almost gets ready to cause chaos, as he says to himself that the kid was able to handle a special grade. As he thinks about the fact that this brat is more than meets the eye. But he won't say it. That was impressive somewhat. And thus, we see Sukuna, rip Yuji's shirt off like normal. Since he really likes ruining Yuji's clothes, but besides that, he rips his shirt off and just bursts out the building, which he then finds Megami. Now, then, the same ass thumping continues to commence, but a lot worse because of the fact that, Megami gets a reversal red to the gut that sends him flying. So yeah, Megami's ass whooping is 10 times worse in this timeline. Poor Megami. But yeah. After that, Sukuna still pulled Yuji's heart out, as Sukuna must be thinking to himself that this kid's curse technique must not see him as a threat because of the fact that still the same body. So yeah, with that, Yuji still takes over, telling Fushiguro that he's sorry, and then dies. So yeah, as Megumi's just sitting there, we zoom in on, as we see Yuji on the table, we zoom in on the hole in his chest as we go into Yuji's mind, which he screams at with Sukuna saying now he'll heal Yuji for a binding vow. With Yuji screaming at Sukuna that you just killed me, hell no, obviously, and just Sukuna leads to a fight. And now then, when Sukuna tried to use Cleave and Dismantle, which one did he use, Dismantle or Cleaved? I'll have to go back and rewatch it. But basically it stops with Yuji saying, did you forget? Your attacks can't hurt me. As he fires a reversal red off, shooting Sukuna back. As he thinks that this is gonna be fun. As we see one of the many Kinga curses versus Yuji, Gojo, Itadori in this timeline. And thus the fight commences. As we see Yuji rush Sukuna, which Sukuna does bring out his hand-to-hand combat with Yuji. Before he kicks behind Yuji, before pulling out that flame arrow, firing one at Yuji, who raises his hand up and it stops midair before he fires off another reversal red. And Yuji fires off two more to use this as a distraction, which lets him get up close and personal behind Sukuna and punch him in the face. As there's a black flash as he sends Sukuna flying through and sends him through one of the bones there. And thus we see Sukuna get up, laughing. As he says, alright, I'll bring you back, but still some conditions. That he's allowed for 1 minute, and Yuji will remember the deal. Along with the fact that he'll help Yuji out 2 times, but only so that, when Yuji needs his help, he can laugh at. And after those 2 times, if Yuji ever needs his help, he can laugh at his face and watch him suffer. And with this, the two make it the binding vow, which Yuji remembers in this timeline, and now he has an additional 2 helps from Sukuna, free of charge. After that, it might as well be Sukuna laughing damn near in Yuji's face, because he ain't helping shit. He also didn't say that he wouldn't take over afterwards, too. Well, he didn't say shit about that, but as we all know, we know what's gonna happen. So, yeah, with that, we see Yuji wake up while in the morgue, basically, getting ready to get sent there, as he does ask himself, where's his clothes? And thus, when Gojo sees that Yuji's alive, they high-five. They give him some new clothes, and Yuji goes into hiding. As him and Yuji, basically, this starts Yuji's and Gojo's training off. With Gojo basically teaching everything to Yuji that he can about their curse technique. And during this time, while also Yuji showing that he has, thanks to his 6th eyes, he has immaculate curse control. I say even Sukuna and him sat down and watched the movie. Why not? But during this time, Yuji does Blue. I can never remember the first part of Blue. Shit. Wasn't it spatial? Blue. I can never remember the first part. Damn. But yeah. While that's happening, things still go off more or less similar to Ken. Yuji's training is this that, since Gojo can actually train Yuji here, since, they're from the same clan, it's actually really easy to train Yuji a lot more in this timeline, meaning that Yuji gets a lot stronger. Because of the fact that he's training with the strongest, and they both have the same ability. And thus, things commence like normal. And after an hour, Gojo comes back, and I'd say after a couple of weeks, Gojo comes down and shows Yuji that he wants to show him something. Which we see Gojo versus Jogo. Thank you, Gay, for that confusing ass name. We're calling him Volcano Man from now on. and he gets his ass whooped. He gets whooped, ragingly bad. So yeah. With that, I mean, really, I don't really know what else to talk about. Yuji just still gets snuck by the tree, but it's dead in less than an instant. Since, well, unlike Gojo, since Yuji doesn't know RCT right now, he can't keep Infinity up without it draining him. And so, Yuji only has Infinity up during his battles. Or, since sometimes, basically, Yuji's Infinity is a little bit weaker than Gojo's was. Because of the fact that, well, he can't really use it all that much. Well, you can't have it on constantly, basically. And thus, during this time, after this, Gojo ends up grabbing Yuji, telling that he has a friend he'd like him to meet. As Yuji ends up meeting Nanami, as the two go off, go do their thing, investigate. And with that, we leave this off. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. More on 13.